इतना सफर है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to each and everyone who has spared time today to join us for this great webinar. I, Archana Sharma, along with the entire team of Franchise India, welcomes you to our webinar series, Business Opportunity Over Chai. Here, our aim and objective is to represent the brand of the day. We do not endorse any particular brand. If I talk about Franchise India is 23 years old business consulting firm with presence in 80 plus cities. And we truly claim that no one sells more business than us because we have helped more than 5,000 brands in expanding their business with our pan-India offices. And we have helped more than 78,000 investors in getting the business feedback, suggestions, as well as franchise selections from our side. It is our privilege to invite and welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav Sir and Sonia ma'am. During the course of the webinar, they'll be talking about industry. They'll be sharing their insights, views with us so that we can take right decision. The brand which we are representing today is Shrika. It's a unique retail outlet come restaurant opportunity for each one of you, where you can start business with capacity of 10 lakh rupees. And we invite and welcome Mr. Rupak as well as Ms. Vani to talk about this brand. Thank you so much, Rupak, for joining in today. But before we start the formal presentation from your side, we would like to understand your journey. Over to you, sir. Hi, Vani. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Rupak.
Namaste, everyone.
Yes, namaste. Rupak ji, आप सुन सकते हैं? वानी जी, you can hear us?
Yeah, I can listen to you. Can you people listen to me?
Yeah. Absolutely. Rupak ji.
Yeah.
So let's start with कैसे आपका बिजनेस शुरू हुआ, कैसे आपको ये आइडिया आया, फिर उसके बाद हम प्रेजेंटेशन को देखेंगे. एंड ओवर टू यू. आप में से कोई भी शुरू कर सकता है. रूपक जी आपने या वानी जी आप चाहें.
Yeah, see, this idea started off, it's a small story. I think it's better to be narrated in the way how the things unfolded. Once me, my wife and we kids had gone down to KFC some time back, probably 6 or 7 years back. While we were having our food there, we saw an auto rickshaw guy walk in with his son, who was probably around 10 or 11 years old. And he took him to the counter, he got him whatever the kid asked for. And after having got him that thing, he made him sit on the table, and his child offered him the food that what he was eating. But this auto driver, he told, no, you wait here, I'll come in a minute. So I saw him, he walked out of the store and he went to an Darshini, which is, a South Indian USR. He went and had his food and he came back, which was very strange. And, you are in a petrol bunk and instead of filling fuel in this bunk, you go to another bunk. It was very strange for me that way. So it invoked a curiosity in me and I went and spoke to this guy. Why was it that you went out to eat food? Just on a casual note, I spoke to him while he was leaving. So this guy told that, I came here only because of my son, because he had seen so much of KFC chicken, fried chicken and over the TV that he craved for it. And I just came here to satisfy his, the desire to eat in KFC, having seen it so many to death. So it was basically a marketing or a branding thing that, they wanted to eat. It was not more of a quenching the hunger. Then he told that, how can I eat something like this? This doesn't satisfy my palate. So I went in to eat something which would appeal to me. So, okay, that was an interesting story. In a while back, I saw an other gentleman, walk in with his teenage daughters. And these daughters, they came, these kids, they came, they were having this food, and even the father also, who was somewhere around 50 plus, he had a couple of pieces with them, but he did not eat as much as the kids ate. But the kids were, all the while more involved in taking the pictures of they eating and, publicizing that in the social media. This kind of, triggered in an thought process in me that, even though whatever you try to create or whatever you have, there is always a thing where, you can never appeal to every person on every taste bud. And the young crowd was something that would prefer this continental food, but whereas the old people is something, they would still prefer to something like the mother's tongue influence or makakana or, the desi food. But at the same time, one thing that inspired me about KFC is, KFC is a place or, any QSR as such matter. And even an auto driver can walk in, or even someone in an high-end premium car also can walk in. They can, sit there without any hesitation or anything as such, and they can have whatever they want. And creating an ambience of this kind and, to the spectrum of people of different walks of life was something which was very good. So this instigated me to the thought process of creating a food concept or a, a restaurant concept which would appeal for every person in every walks of life. But the taste of the food or the quality of the food, the person, who was aged about 50 plus obviously had certain health issues like diabetes or I don't know, whatever it could be. So he was not more keen on eating too much of food over there in that place for obvious reasons. So he was very keen on, the kind of food that what he ate and, how much he ate. But whereas, the kids did not bother. So health was one aspect of it. And the other aspect was the taste factor of it, where, the influence of the original, our food has got an appeal to it. So this is something that stuck to me. So I felt there is a scope where you can create a product or there is a need in the market where something like this can be brought into the market and it can be emphasized or it can be captured on. So this is the segment on which we worked on and we created this concept. I think over the period, once we start going ahead with the slides, I'll eventually explain more and more about how this thing. But when it comes to the birth of this is the story. This is that 1.1 meal that when I went to have, I saw that there is a scope and there is a need which, the market demands for something like this. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah. So thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rupak, for sharing your story with us. We'll just start the PPT for you. Over.
Yeah, please. Shrika as a company was formed in 2019, as you can see in the display. But it's not that we started Shrika as the reason why we thought about Shrika as a name in the first place was Shrika means mother divinity in the Sanskrit. So we wanted to give the people a healthy option as a food when it comes to that. And as I was telling you, the principle that what we, it's promoted by me and my wife. Vani is my wife, and we both are not just life partners, we are also business partners as well. And we have been together in whatever we have been doing. And a lot of the thought process has been a brainstorming of between us, and that is how we have evolved. And before this, we used to run QSR in the brand name of Stick Snacks. But as Stick Snacks, when we say it's food with stick, but as we evolved into millets and healthy food option, the name needed to be changed. So we wanted a larger perspective or a wider perspective. That's when the brand name Shrika came into the picture. Yeah, next slide, please. Our USP has been our principal focus, as I told you, has been giving you nutritious food. I will not tell healthy food or health. We sell health. See, health is a factor of the right nutrition and also the right lifestyle. So yeah, it is an byproduct of these two aspects. So when I say health, I sell healthy food. I can only sell that. I sell something which is nutritious, which gives the right health quotient. In our products, we do not use any artificial colors. We do not use any MSG, and we do not use any preservatives. Whatever the preservatives that we use, they are all natural preservatives like turmeric, extracts, etc. And by using these elements, what happens is the shelf life might not be as high as when you use the preservatives, but it does give you an adequate time frame to liquidate the stock whatever you have. And this is the kind of health quotient that what we have when it comes to our products. And the way how we have created also the platform and everything, we are looking at this being globally comparable and competitive as well. In terms of the presence, the product, the packaging, presentation, and even the positioning aspects of it. So this is what is our USP. And way forward, the another uniqueness about our product is, as we evolved from Stick Snacks to Shrika, we wanted to bring in another element where whatever you tried, a consumer what he tasted and tried in our outlet, he could take it home and he could try it on his own as well, and he would get the similar results. And it's the cooking of the product is also as easy as cooking Maggi or anything as such. I'll explain more detailedly about that way forward. Next slide, please. So as I was telling you about, with the story, that the kind of clientele that what we appeal to. The clientele, as you can see, it's something that even a mid-end to an high-end person should not be able to come in, purchase or dine in. So that is the thought process with which, we started off. And with that particular thought process, we emphasize that the decorum of the store, the product presentation, and the appealment. And we took about nearly 13 months to develop our menu actually, and we spent almost more than 50-60 lakhs only to develop our menu, because developing something, a food product, or without using preservatives or artificial element, it's not that easy. And at the same time, trying to create an adequate shelf life. So when we tried to create, we were very particular that the target audience would not be limited only to limited spectrum, but it could go in from an age bracket of as low as 6 to around 70 years of age. So the food palette had to appeal not only to the financial ability of a person, but also in terms of the demographic ability of a person, and also in the age limit of the person. Next slide, please. Here, I would like to add a little bit about what we are in terms of Shrika as a brand. Shrika as a brand, we wish to promise the right nutrition, whether it's in the form, whether the person would like to have it in the morning as a breakfast or lunch or as a dinner or in between in the high time as a snack. So snacks. So we cover the entire spectrum of an person's need from morning, from the time he rises up to the time he goes down to the bed. So in this particular segment, we branding is something that plays a very vital role, because there is a promise that what we intend to give, we will give you the right nutrition from the point of start to the end of your day. But at the same time, this need of nutritional need of yours can come in any form. It can be in the form of a cereal in the morning, or it can be in terms of an heavy meal, millet based, or it can be even in small snacker, or even in the dinner when it comes to a millet based or a mild millet based kind of an food product. And in the branding, we would like to when it comes to acquiring a client, we would like to acquire a client by enrolling him into a loyalty based program. And this loyalty program would be valid for him across different outlets that he would go for. And we would be promoting our brand extensively on the digital marketing as well as on the digital marketing, and even on the print media as well, because there is a this nutritional need is something that is the need of the hour now. When it comes to food as a palate being offered, there are plenty of options, there are plenty of this thing. But someone being able to try the food and take it home and cook on his own, where along with the food outlet, you also have a retail outlet attached together. This is one of its kind of an option. So we want the consumer to try the food first, and also become an we would call it as an early adapters. So these early adapters to emphasize more and more into our palate, and once in a while, if he prefers to have something like a junk food, or a food that would appeal only to the tongue, so instead of nourishing the body, we do have options even for that as well. So we would like to tell that as a story, and this would come in on all the 4 formats, as I told you: the digital format, the digital format, digital marketing format, that is the online marketing, and the print media, and it should also go on in as an word of mouth publicity as well. Next slide, please.
Basically, you can give home, the kids, whatever you eat in the restaurants, the same exact same food, even at the home also it can be done. And everything can be cooked within just few minutes. So it is very easy for a working woman to, to give a healthy option for their children, and at the much fastest time.
So the setup is something, the hand holding that what we would do is not only in terms of setting up the establishment, we would also give them all the necessary collaterals in terms of evaluating a particular location on what parameters. We already have an SOP, or we already have a standard put in place in terms of evaluating a location, on what parameters it has to be evaluated. For example, there is a marks based system for a location which will have which is on the ground floor and which faces 2 face, and the facade dimension, how much would be required. So based on all these parameters, how even a layman would be able to evaluate a location, we have parameters already preset for that. And the infrastructure would have the necessary the equipment checklist is also there. What would be required in the particular location in terms of the equipment, and how they have to manage the stock, and who are all the kind of people they are required. And we also have the training manuals for each and every designation and each and every position. So the hand holding would be done on an entire 360-degree basis, because in food business, one of the key aspect of profitability is eliminating or minimizing pilferage and wastages. So when those aspects have to be considered, the system has to be robust. Only then we can bring in the right amount of profitability. And we at Shrika have understood this, and we have already built in system for each and everything, and which is, which covers almost all the aspects when it comes to training manpower, or even in terms of the stock being maintained. The system takes care of most of the loopholes that can arise in the day-to-day operating aspects. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of customer service, there is something that what we have realized over a period of experiences. Here, more than the partners, more than the investors, we are looking at the people with whom we work as partners. We don't want to work with just the investors. We would like to work with people who would like to come on board as partners, because when it comes to the right food being served to a right person, we are selling a nutrition, and over a period of time, you need to build in some kind of an personal relationship with the person who walks in. So, when you work with money or profitability as a key factor for someone, the demerit would be that you would not be able to build in that relationship with the audience. And as I told you, word of mouth publicity as another element of publicity for brand Shrika. We would like to work with partners who understand this factor, and we are not here in this business just to gain something out of the community, but we are here in this business to give something into the community, or give something back to the community. So when it comes to giving back to the community, the person who front ends the particular store should understand the person who walks in. And we are looking at a loyal consumer base being built in our outlet. So that being the factor, and we are building in the the nutrition factor when it comes in. We are trying to cater to that need, that what they require. And the person in the when it comes to the partner who would like to open join hands with us, he should understand that particular person, and he has to engage them. And the kind of food that what we serve, the kind of the language that what the food has to offer, has to be conveyed to them in terms of in every possible aspect, so that once who comes in should be a regular, and he should not only bring in his family, but he should be able to bring in his friends also. And when they come, they should not just walk out with the experience, but they should also carry some of the food which they can try it at home. So that is the kind of approach, or the consumer service element that we would like to cater to. Next slide, please. Now, when I mentioned about a while back about catering to the need of the consumer, it is also very important that we're giving something to the customer. It is also very important that we offer commercial viability to the entire spectrum. Now, any business model is something which operates, which works more like a triangle. One corner of the triangle is something the brand has to offer. Another thing is, the brand has promised. And another corner of the triangle is what the consumer desires. And another corner of the triangle is something what the facilitator has to benefit. So while meeting the need of the consumer and upholding the promise of the brand, the facilitator, who is something like our franchisee in this factor, should also have enough profitability for his for his operational aspect of it. So we would make sure that the franchisee would have the right expertise being trained by us, and in terms of handling the food, and he would also be trained by us in terms of how the customer has to be addressed, and when it comes to serving something based on a nutritional value, how to understand for what kind of an parameter which particular food product would be the right viable option, and how it has to be conveyed to the this thing to the person, and in terms of operational ability, how the food has to be stored, stocked, and everything, and at the same time on what parameters the hygiene sense has to be maintained, and on what parameters in terms of statutory compliance has to be complied, and in terms of making sure that the consumer experience is furthermore enhanced, how we has to take care of it. All these aspects would be hand-holding factor from our side to the franchisee. Would you like to add something here, Vani?
No, you have covered almost everything.
Okay, next slide, please.
Basically, a complete handholding will be given to them.
Now, here we are very particular about FOFO as a business model, that is franchisee owned, franchisee operated model. The reason being is, if we have to sitting in a different geographical location, if we have to manage the store in terms of the brand promise that what we commit to the consumer, it would be very difficult, and building in that relationship of whoever walks into the store is a key factor, and this is possible only by the partner with whom we work as a franchise. He is the one who would see these people on a day in day out basis, and he would understand who it is and what it is. And since the product what we sell is not something that he would eat today and he would come back once again probably in a week or a 2 days time, or probably a couple of times in a month, but the product that what we are trying to sell is something what you will need on a daily basis, something like your kirana store in your street or anything, where no matter what you do, you will have to visit for something or the other to him. You might purchase that once in a month, or you might purchase this once in 15 days, or you might purchase it once in a week, but whatever you purchase from there is something that you consume on a everyday basis. So the kind of product that what we have is something similar to that, and understanding the consumer base and the way how even the ERP that what we will be emphasizing on, we will have a consumer demography being put in place in terms of the kind of what he has been purchased in for quite some time, and the kind of the shopping value that what he has done. And apart from here, where else has which are the other outlets where he has shopped our product, all this demographic information would be available on the consumer fingertips, so that when the customer comes to you, it gives you all the necessary the franchisee the necessary information that he would require to tell him about him as a case study. And when he files in his name, you would be able to greet him in as by his name or as a person. So these are all the aspects that we would like to bring in. And the selection of the captive crowd, the selection of the location for the captive crowd for this particular outlet would be something that what we would highly emphasize on, in the sense we are not looking at more of a floating crowd to come to our outlet. It would be more of a captive crowd because of the experience that what we deliver and the product promise also what we deliver. Next slide, please. We are open for multi-unit franchisee also. I'm sorry, I slipped out of my mind. Now, in terms of the rollout strategy,
I think
in terms of the potential market, like I was telling a while back, we are the positioning of the outlet would be more ideal in a mall which has a captive crowd attached to it, in the sense there are a lot of shopping arcades and malls which has an apartment block already pre residential block connected with that, and where you have an assured captive crowd available over there, and you also have certain amount of floating visibility also, and the branding also gets a proper emphasis. And we can also set it up in high streets where the movement of traffic is pretty good, because once you become an known brand, and it's something that what you need at any given point of time, whenever someone visits that particular place, it becomes a kind of a mandatory habit for someone to procure buy stuff from that and even experience it. And it also helps us in terms of capturing fresh clientele or fresh consumer base. And I think once we look at the rollout plan, when it comes to the rollout plan, the ideal locations are earmarked, where it's more of an densely population, like I said, the captive crowd and the floating population being put in place. Some of the places like Brigade Road, Church Street, Commercial Street, Richmond Town, they have a set of captive as well as floating crowd adequately, and these are all places which has got a lot of footfalls. And in places like this, we are bound to get both the retail presence as well as, retail business, as well as even the food, restaurant business as well. You want to tell something, Vani?
Yeah. Okay.
So next slide, please. And areas like Koramangala, Banargata, these are all something, Domlu, which has got a lot of captive population, and captive population plays a lot of important role. And other aspect which I forgot to mention over here is the kind of products what we sell. Once someone eats, let me assume a family comes to have food, a family of husband, wife, and a kid. When they come to have food with us, the billing would be, average billing would be somewhere around between 400 to 600 rupees, 400 to 800 rupees. So when someone eats them, they not only when they like it or anything as such, we have packaged our food product something like this. Can you make me live on the camera? Can you make my camera active, Archana? Vani, do you have our product? Can you show our?
Yeah.
Just show our packaging.
Is this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a box where which has been literally designed and everything done by Rupak himself, and this doesn't even come with one single stapler nor a cellophane tape or anything as such. And even if you drop it from a pretty good height as well, nothing breaks down. And it's all eco-friendly. So basically, what we are trying to do.
This packaging also.
The entire story and everything is given over here. Rupak, you're not audible.
See, this packaging also has a tag attached to it, which would say of the health benefits this particular product has got. So when someone buys it and when somebody takes it home, they will be able to, after eating it, when they take it home, they will get an entire brand story to be conveyed across in this packaging. If you see this packaging, in this packaging, we are conveying a story over here of the health benefits, what this product gives. And this would be kept on display in all our store of all the products, whatever the consumer tastes, what he can go home and he can, it's already mentioned, ready to cook. So, and we also emphasize on our other products that are available across on our table. And we also tell about the ingredients that is there and the benefit of this particular product. And the another key factor is we tell in different languages what this product also means, the names for this particular millet. So it is something like when you come in for an experience of tasting food, we are also giving them an emphasis that what they can take home. So the billing value will not be if they have come and eaten for about 400 to 600 or 800 rupees. This bought out what they can take home is often high value. And some person can buy it, each of that box is about 69 rupees and it can feed uh, 3 to 4 people at home. So once, 100 gram of food product, once you cook it, it becomes about 500 to 600 grams, which is good enough to feed about a small family for a meal. So this kind of an experience is something that which is unique. And when we are rolling out the sectors where whatever we mentioned earlier, the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Archana, can you go back to that slide? So in that particular slide, if you look at it, we are speaking of, we are targeting the kind of people available, the IT people who do not have much of a time to cook at home, but at the same time they are compromising a lot just because in terms of the nutritional value, a lot of compromising factor happens. Whereas this product, you open the packet and from that packet to the plate, it takes less than 5 to 6 minutes. If you have a cooker and an induction stove or a gas stove, it is less than 5 to 6 minutes for you to cook that food. And if you would like to add any other customize it to your own need, you can add vegetables to that, just like your Maggie. So millets being made available like this is something unique, and we have done a good amount of research in terms of developing that. And the area that what we are looking at in the south location and in the east or anything as such is something which will have a lot of residential outlets, residential people. So the captive crowd is pretty good for this, and they're all working family. I mean, the working family in the sense both husband and wife being of the working cat. So food being available, and if you are lazy enough not to cook, of course, we are always available online with Swiggy or Zomato. The food would be made available to you, which is already cooked as well. Yes. Next slide, please. I think the area would differ, but other than the point would be the same. Next slide, please. As I was telling, we don't more than the age group or the kind of person that what we are looking at is, we are not looking at someone who is more of an investor, but who's passionate about what we do, what he does, as well as, and he is more keen on giving. In the sense, when we approach with profitability or money as a key factor, what happens in the community is we do not gain much. And it is once we start giving out the right nutrition, and once we start selling ourselves with the right manner, in the right ethical format, when you are giving in the nutrition, the kind of both what we achieve is actually phenomenal. And that is the kind of franchisee that what we are looking at. Someone who can think about not just earning money, but earning a good goodwill in the community, a good faith in the community. So that would be the key factor for us to work with, because money is something that eventually comes when you start giving, or when you start earning the right goodwill with the right product and with the right presence, and when you connect with them on an appropriate manner, understanding their need and delivering to their particular need. And our products, once eventually when we see our menu, you will understand we have the product spectrum pretty widely covered to every need, be it an 4-year-old or a 5-year-old to and somewhere around 60 or 70-year-old. We have the right nutritional need for all these people. So this particular option is something that we want to work with someone. We don't want to we want to work with someone who considers himself as a partner with us on our growth. And we want someone who can come with us not just for one store, but he should be able to achieve multiple store with us. ROI in our product factor, we have taken a lot of parameters and we have covered it in our this thing. So when it comes to profitability, definitely profitability and ROI comes in on an appropriate. We will discuss about that eventually as well. Thank you, Archana. I think we'll have the next financial slides, right?
Yes, sir. I'm just sharing that.
Yeah. See, this is an typical store of ours where veg and non-veg is cooked separately. Even the storage aspect, everything is separate. We have a separate storage and utensils and even the chopping board or even the knife separate for a veg or a non-veg. And we can do it even on an open kitchen concept where live kitchen concept where people can see what it is cooked and how it is being cooked. And we can can you go to the next slide, please? And this is the concept of Shrika, where on the left side you have a retail outlet where a person can pick what he wants while he is waiting for his food being prepared. He can even pick what he wants, or he can even pick something there in the store and he can ask that particular thing to be cooked and given to him. This concept is something new and unique. And maybe this is available abroad, but in our country, on a QSR format, this is something new. And on the we also have food being available even on the frozen format also, especially the meat, the non-veg product, and this is where half of it is a retail outlet and the other half is a closed kitchen concept. Next slide, please. So this is a typical small QSR. Now the ones that what you saw was more like an outlet. So this is an QSR where cafe where dining is also quite possible. Next slide. The decorum is simple, neat, elegant. Like I told you, kind of even whether a high-end customer comes in or even a mid-end customer comes in, the ambience should be good enough for him to be apt enough. So for someone to stand and eat, we have provisions being made over there. And we also have a storytelling board where we convey the story of our food and our product in this particular outlet. Next slide, please. So this is how you know the entrance would look like. Next slide. The dine-in would be simple, quick turnaround dining. So it's just that you can finish your food. I mean, basically an experience where you can walk in and from the point of walking in, ordering your food and then eating and walking out happens within 30 to 40 minutes of your typical time. Not even 30 to 40 minutes, much less than that. So understanding of a dining experience of 30 to 40 minutes is what we are looking at in this particular cafe. Next slide, please. We Times of India found us a very promising brand, and we were featured on the front page of Times of India as well. So the article starts with my name and my interest in the food and the passion, the thought process that what we got. And there's a small story I need to tell over here. Why we started off with stick snacks. Me and my wife, we had gone down to Dubai. So during our trip, we saw this spiral potato. And we saw a lot of people making the spiral potato somewhere around 7 years back. It was not that much of 6 or 7 years back. It was not a big thing the way how, it's a common thing now that what you see on the streets. So that kind of, instigated, it was just, within a few weeks of our, our visit to the KFC. this particular incident happened where I saw the spiral potato and I saw a good potential in it. But if I had to sell just the spiral potato, it would not make sense. So we created an entire concept where food on a stick would be a key factor, and that's how we started off with this stick snacks. So we started to serve food, all our food, including rice, being stuck onto a stick, and it became more like a finger food, and even the main course also could be served on a stick. So this entire concept became very unique. So that's where we got a very good recognition, and we were featured on the front page of the Times of India. Next slide, please. Now, as I was telling you a while back, our our product has got a very good scalability in terms of the spectrum of the menu that what we have. Now, we can be operated as a cloud kitchen concept where the investment can be around 10 lakh rupees or so, which would include even the franchisee, whatever the costings that what you are able to see would include even the franchisee fees as well. So on a cloud kitchen concept also, and we would give you the necessary tie-up support with the right aggregators who would market it as well. And we would also be giving you the digital marketing support in terms of promoting our presence. And the express model is something what you saw in a twin kitchen kind of a concept that what we have. So where seating is not much emphasized, and it could be done in 300 to 600 square feet. And we also have apart from the express, we also have a cafe model where adequate seating would be provided, and the experience would be further enriched by beverage coming in from the Shri K Cafe. Now, when it comes to beverage, I forgot to mention this particular part. We have certain products which are which has an origin to our traditions, which has lost out its steam, and which has got a lot of health benefits when it comes to that, and at the same time they are very tasty, and they're really very good. So these kind of beverage would be available from the cafe format, because this would require a small space for the bar counter. I will not call it as a bar counter because we don't sell anything which is alcoholic. So it will be more like a mocktail counter. So as a beverage exclusive counter to be there, and this would be available from the cafe, bistro, and the lounge. So even that would come in on this particular three formats. Whereas the other two formats of cloud kitchen and express, the beverage menu would be there, but it would be available on a limited format because of the inventory management issues. And all the formats, irrelevant of whatever the size of the investment that you make, the ROI is almost at par to almost to the same, but it's only to the kind of the partner's ability that what he or she would like to get involved or working with us. So we can start with that, and we can eventually grow much bigger in terms of the number of stores, and in terms of the scalability of the store. Next slide, please. So these are all some of the numbers that what we have put in. Earlier, the slide spoke more about the capex or what is involved in terms of for all the 5 formats. Now we have also done an rework on the OPEX aspect of it. And one of the almost all formats have a similar ROI expectation. Like I said, the person with whom we are trying to cater to should be able. If I have to convey this in a different story, it's like this. When it comes to, I think maybe I'm politicizing. If someone is running for the prime minister's, some years back, few years back, prime minister's candidate. If someone said Modi, it would be BJP. If someone said about Rahul Gandhi, it would be like Congress. The same way, irrelevant of what format what you choose from, or the profitability, what you ROI aspect that what you would look at. It's like, you know, what kind of goodwill which Shrika you would like to earn in the community. So irrelevant of that particular factor, you know, the kind of audience that what you would like to cater, the number game or, you know, the size factor of it would vary based on that. So this is how I would like to convey about the various factors. But when it comes to ROI and profitability, almost all the format has the similar thing, but only the audience to what you want to cater to has got to do with the different formats that what we have. Next slide, please. I think that ends our presentations. Probably, I think.
Thank you. Thank you for a lovely presentation, and thank you, Vaniji. I'll take, because it's a very elaborate presentation, we'll just take a few questions quickly so that we have full understanding. I have you talked about 5 formats, which is Cloud Kitchen, you talked about Express, you talked about even bigger model, Bistro, and even the lounge model. And the pricing would range from 10 lakh rupees to 80 lakh rupees, depending on what format we want to really do.
Yes.
As far as business model you're concerned, you have ready to eat and ready to cook, both formats available in the business, and you have takeaway, dining, and also delivery, because Cloud Kitchen would essentially become a pure delivery formats. We also saw in your communication, and this would be my first question to clarify, because if we go and search on you, there are 2 formats, 2 brands which are clearly there, which you want to clarify why the 2 brands are there, and because one outlet is on one brand and one is on Shirka.
No, it would be only one brand. I'm sorry, I'm
Oh,
interrupting you. It will be only one brand, Shrika. See, I'll tell you what happened was, though we started our business in the name of Stick Snacks, when I use the name Stick Snacks, it gets limited only to, you know, the model becomes very constrained. So that is the reason when we got into this kind of an concept of the millet and everything put together, we had to evolve on move on the earthy feel. So that is the reason we came out with this name Shrika. Like I said, Shrika means divine mother in Sanskrit.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to clarify, because a lot of audience
Only Shrika now. It will be only Shrika.
Yeah, but you go today on a Facebook, they would see both brands available, because Facebook is not been doing it, because our investors normally would go out and search on that. And just to define, they used to be a Stick Stack as a brand, and now they've shifted to Shrika, so there should be no confusion. And Shrika, because
So it will be only Shrika, one brand.
Yeah, it will be only one brand, and also it will be doing a lot of holistic food, millets, and things of that nature, which is where the things is going on. And now let's start with some questions. I'll start with the first question. Really, while you have big formats available, but what is the most focused format for you? I mean, where do you see the bigger value coming in? That's one. Second, you talked about nice packaging which you had, and this is future. I always say that ready to cook is going to be a much larger opportunity than ready to just eat, which is your restaurant business, because a lot of people, especially in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, where IT is very strong, they go back to homes and they don't want to cook back, and they want to really have something which is available. So how big is your piece? And then also, when you open up a franchise outlet, what kind of support you will provide in terms of supply chain to bring the consistency of the product?
See, we have
any remarks on
that? Number one, the product what comes in the ready to cook is a similar format. Only thing is the packaging would differ for the consumer B2C and B2B format. What I'm trying to say here is, the one aspect what we missed out even during a case study, which I forgot to mention. I'll answer your question in a different way. I'm sorry, Mr. Karam. I'm deviating a little bit. See, we have a B2B and a B2C format over here when it comes to ready to cook. There was this hospital here in Manipal near Mangalore, who had this, who had a canteen of their own, and to serve to the inpatients as well as for the people attendants, attendants who used to be there. Initially, they had given this on a catering basis, and due to it, during the catering, there was a lot of issues in terms of the quality aspect of it and consistency aspect of it. And then later on, they started to have an in-house team to manage it. And when it came to having an in-house team, they had a lot of pilferage issues, and the nutrition factor was also not appropriately maintained. So this particular requirement came to us, and we what we did was, based on the number of inpatients, we started to give them this particular product. We gave our product menu, and they came out with an outline when they want what. So our business model has got the ability, ready to cook, not just for the people who walk in, and if someone is good enough in terms of building in the right PR, we also have the ability to take this on a B2B format. So the consumer, the investor or the franchisee or the partner can come out with an option of either in a cloud kitchen, but the best format would be the express and the cafe, because this gives you the leverage. Not only in terms of addressing the cloud kitchen concept, but also to take this on a B2C as well as the B2B format as well. So I strongly feel that these two formats, Express and the Cafe, will have a very good ability, because the partner would also will have an assured business coming in. So on the B2B platform as well.
Sure.
I hope I answered your question.
Oh, absolutely, you answered the question. So now over to you, because we're already 1 o'clock. So you want to take a few questions quickly.
Right. Thank you so much, Rupak ji and Vani ji. Quickly, 2-3 questions which I thought I would like to cover. One is on, the priority cities that you want to do. I also have somebody who's looking for Hyderabad, and which are the locations where somebody can come and maybe see the existing locations or outlets where you currently operate in.
They'll have to come down to Bangalore. We can show a location in Bangalore Orion Mall at this moment. But eventually, over a period of time, whatever the stores that what we currently have are all owned by us, and eventually we want to come out of this, and we want to focus more on the FOFO model. And the reason being is, like I forgot to answer this earlier to Mr. Gaurav, we want to focus mainly on quality, consistency, and our production ability. We want to focus on our centralized kitchen, where quality and all the other parameters are upheld. And this is with this approach being put in place, we would like to focus way forward only on the FOFO model. So they can, for the current outlet, they can come and see in Orion Mall in Bangalore. Hyderabad is fine. We can cater to, it's an overnight service, so we can definitely cater to that particular segment.
Sure. And Rupak ji, amongst all the formats that we have talked about, would you want to maybe even talk about the typical, I would say revenue an outlet can make is one of the questions. And second is our typical APCs, the average ticket price that we have maybe for a QSR and for maybe an online cloud kitchen kind of a format. And quickly, one question is also on the menu. What are the offerings that we have against amongst these various formats?
It's very unfortunate, our menu got missed out in this particular presentation. But what
I have something which I saw on your website. I don't know if that is the one.
I will share you the particular. See, because since two brands have been merged into one, there'll be some kind of a confusion for you. So I had created a slide, and I think that got missed out here, and due to time constraint, it's too short of a time for us to present it now.
Sure.
However, it can be made available to a potential investor. I forgot to mention another point. Whoever is keen on working with us, they can, if a request is raised, we can send some of our food products to their doorstep, they need not have to come and visit us. They can try our food product in their home, in their place, without even making this thing. And once they try it, once they are satisfied, they can look at partnering with us.
Sure. So I think if you talk about the overall menu, it will include meals, it will include beverages, and it will also have some snacks and some quick bites like sandwiches and wraps too.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And what would be the APC,
Yeah.
the average price, per?
The average price when it comes to a consumer dining, I think the product pricing would start from as low as around 40 rupees and it would go up to around 450 rupees. So for a family dining, as I told you, it would be anywhere between 400 to 800. So if I have to average it out, per person would be around 90 to 150 rupees.
Okay. Helpful. And Rupakji, I think we missed on one thing. We talked about all these formats. What can be the average expectations as far as maybe, the throughput or the revenue from or the income from one particular outlet is concerned? And also, how long does it take for somebody to reach their optimum output from that outlet?
See, a QSR from my view perspective, based on the location, the average income can be anywhere between 4 to 7 lakh rupees per month in terms of the revenue that what they can achieve. So the optimal time that they would require would be anywhere between 2 to 3 months for them to gear up from the point of zero to this thing. After the third month, then things would eventually start scaling up. And thanks to this COVID situation, the opportunity for our business is phenomenally good because of our product line. They can dine in or they can take it out home. So that's the advantage what our business model has.
Sure, sure. Ruchi, and one question which is also on the rollout, which are the important immediate cities for you to get in?
Bangalore would be the first city that I would like to focus on. The next one would be Chennai, Hyderabad. Hyderabad also has got a potentiality. Any location from Bangalore where we can cater to overnight, in terms of logistics, that would make a lot of sense for us.
Sure, sure. And Arvindji, you're asking about the menu. We would be able to share that with you. You need to let us know which city are you looking for. We also have Mr. Sudeep Ramaswamy. How about outlets in Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu? Friends, they're currently operating out of Bangalore, and Bangalore at this point in time is a priority for them. While we can even discuss options for locations outside Bangalore for a multi-unit or an area franchisee, even if it is a single, we like to see the potential in the format that you want to do. And Rupakji, one question which I'm seeing from Mr. Sudeep is on the staffing and the support on recruitment along with the training which the company will provide.
See, since this entire thing is a new concept, obviously we need to do this handholding in terms of setting up the equipment as well as the staff holding. Staff training. We can do the staff training in the year in Bangalore on the initial, and once the outlet becomes operational, we'll be doing even the site training as well for certain almost a week or 10 days based on the need. And there would be certain intermediary training that would be taken up once in a while based on the need, probably once in 2 months or 3 months like that, after even the commencement of the store.
Sure. Sure.
Another aspect I would like to emphasize, once the layout of the store is given, we would even guide them in terms of the brand language and the store layout, how it has to come in. Even all these aspects would be taken care by us.
Sure. Sure, Rupakji. And we also have Mr. Arvind asking for a video of the outlet. Friends, since it is already operational in Bangalore, if you're closer to Bangalore or in Bangalore, you can visit the outlet. We can also share maybe a picture of a video of the outlet. We'll request Rupakji and Vaniji to send the same. At the same time, I will also request, because I see a lot of comments from all of you who would like to maybe have more information, financials or details or samajhna chahte hain. And Soumya ji, you mentioned you're interested in the venture. So our teams will reach out to all of you from Bangalore. We have our teams who are working with Rupakji and Vaniji on this project. We'll reach out to all of you. And there is a date that we've decided that we can bring all the prospective interested investors or partners for a no obligation meeting with the team of Rupakji and Vaniji. And Ashna, do we have a date which we want to announce?
Ma'am, 16th is the date we have kept for our item.
I see a question someone is asking for how do we support the staff? So as far as that is concerned, we will do all the hand holding. We will give you all the training required in terms of how to do the preparation, serving, and everything. The entire aspect of from the kitchen till the food goes to the customer's plate, and even taking their reviews and everything. So we will give you all the training, whatever is necessary that is required.
Sure, sure. Very helpful, Maniji. And friends, we see your questions. We'll take up all these one-to-one with all of you, and we can take it on a call, because Arvindji, you're asking if you're coming to Hyderabad. I think not soon, maybe, I don't know. But we can all connect with each other over a virtual call. Zoom के ऊपर अगर आप चाहते हैं, there's a virtual tour of the outlet which you would want to see. We can do that. So you please reach out on our hotline number 9717683838, which we have also put in the chat box. आप उस पर reach out कीजिए, and our teams will also reach out to you. We'll fix your meeting with Rupak ji and Vani ji on 16th of April. Please note that is a day that we are doing Discovery Day. Discovery Day is a day where you will discover more information about the brand. Even the company, the franchisor, will discover more information about you as a potential fitment for becoming a partner and the opportunity in your city. So take this date 16th of April. Our teams will reach out to you, or anything between 30 to 45 minutes is what we'll fix up a slot. In case you want to visit also any of the outlets, please let us know. We'll also facilitate and organize the same. So friends, with this, I'd like to request Rupak ji and Vani ji, maybe last word from you to the audience who's listening to you, any message which you want to convey to them.
First and foremost, when I started off, I forgot to thank everyone for having given us so much of time and audience to be part of this. And thanks to everyone. Thank you everyone for your time. And we are looking at working with people who would like to commit or give something back to the community. It is not just, we are looking at someone who, that is one factor that I would like to emphasize the most. We are looking at partners. We are not looking at investors. We want to open Shrika family. We want to create Shrika family.
Absolutely. I think that talks volume, Rupati, about your own values also, and what kind of culture you want to build amongst your partners. So friends, with this, and Vaniji, anything from you want to communicate to the...
Thank you, Gauraji, and thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Archana, for all the support. And thanks everyone who is part of this entire team. And we started off this for to give the best possible food. When I don't like my children eating something junk which has got a lot of preservatives and other things, so we started off to do all this without all the preservatives, and to give the food, give the latest junk kind of the palette for the kids, as well as it should be completely healthy, where even we are rest assured. And at the same time, it will be very easy for all the working women, to just give the healthier food as early as possible. So keeping all this in mind, we started this, and we would like to see a lot of people take this over and spread it across in the community. So that's how we see, and we would like to partner with them. As Rupak said, it's like a family. So that's what we look at that. And thank you everyone on the Franchisee India.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rupak ji and Vani ji. And Ashna, over to you, please.
I see. I see a questions that is it possible in Coimbatore? It's definitely possible. Hyderabad definitely too. You need to find out the proper locations for this. And staffing support, yes, we will definitely give. And someone has even asked that whether we do the recruitment or they. If they can do it, we don't mind helping them in shortlisting them, because over the years of experience, we can whatever we can share, we will definitely do.
It's like family, you see. One has to support another.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Rupak sir. Thank you so much, Vani, for joining in today. We know you both are traveling. Still, you got time for this webinar. We really appreciate the effort. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir. All the dear friends, please do reach out to us at our business hotline number. 9717683838 is our business hotline number, through which you can get a regular updates from your side, from our side. We request to please save this in number. Once this is saved, then only you'll receive a broadcast messages from our side. Also do connect with us at different social handles, information on your screen. Franchise India also having Facebook page, so please do subscribe our Facebook page. The link is Franchise India Brands Limited. That's the site where you can go and subscribe us. All the previously done webinar, different brands information available under video section. We have entire video library for you. Do share your suggestions, feedback with us so that we improve our processes. You can also join and Connect with Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their respective LinkedIn IDs. Information on your screen. And for tomorrow's another business opportunity, we are inviting you to get registration done today at the same business hotline number. Tomorrow, we are providing you brand from North India. Punjabi Ingiti is a popular family restaurant. The brand will come and talk about different models they are providing in market. So do registration today so that you can join us tomorrow sharp 12 p.m. Thank you so much once again for joining in and sharing your suggestions with us. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rupakji and Mansi.